Hi, Midnight Charlie Man, Patrick. I'm going to try to be really quick about this. I thought if I would make this a separate video, I thought if I'd make this, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put it on at the front here. Now, what happened was the other day when I was recording. Today is Friday the 13th, 2024, and what happened was the other day, for the video that hasn't gone up yet, but it's going to go up. I'm about to put it up today. It's about the homeless in Los Angeles. I'm talking about the homeless in Los Angeles. I was at 53 subscribers, and I said, oh, it'd be really fantastic if I could get to 60. And I'm like, it'd be really good if I get 65. I just hit 65 subscribers today. I feel like popping it. I feel like opening a champagne. I just hit 65 subscribers today. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I tried to be informative and entertaining. And 65 subscribers. I feel really good today. I feel really good. And the I'm getting comments in the comment section, which is fantastic. And also just that more about Hollywood. It's gotten the most likes that any of my videos have ever gotten. 65 subscribers. Totally terrific. Wonderful. Thank you. I feel really good today. 65 subscribers. The other day I said, can I get to 65? Oh, can I please get to 65? Now, could I get to 70? Could I get to 75? Hi, Midnight Charlie Man. It's 11th of the 9th, 2024, and I said to myself, I wouldn't do it, and then I said to myself, I would do it, and then I said to myself, I wouldn't do it, to do this. So what happened was this morning, when I refreshed YouTube browser, this popped up. It popped up, and I'm like, because my videos never pop up on the homepage, never, and my recent video popped up, and I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, I've been exposed because it's only because my videos never appear. My videos never appear on the homepage itself, and I was like, it got me off guard. I'm like, oh, and I was like, and then I adjusted to it, and kept it up there, kept looking at it, just kept looking at it, and I feel like I've achieved the next level now. I feel like we are now on level 2. I feel like I'm now on level 2. I get a gold star, and we went, Michelle and myself, we went out to the Sydney CBD. And I thought, by the time I get back home, when I come back home, the computer does this thing when it automatically refreshes the home page, but it didn't, and so it's still up there. I usually get Jeff Mara up. And I usually get what else usually appears on my home page. These are new. This guy here, this Nick Johnson guy. I watched a video of his last night, homeless problem in Los Angeles. Terrible narrator, overly mocking. He's very mocking, he's very sarcastic. I don't like his tone. However, the footage was good. I ended up muting it, but I could talk about that in another video. But I just don't like his tone. Anyway, yes. So I was a bit beside myself. I was like, oh, I've made it to the home page, and it was very exciting. Actually, and I said, but I'm not going to take a picture. I thought, well, I'll take a picture of it. And I thought, nah, I won't take a picture of it. I thought, well, I'm not going to video it. Why am I going to make it? I'm not going to video it. And I'm just having a rest, and I'm like, I'm really restless about the idea of, like, do you know what, go out, film it, and then I won't have to think about it again. Because as soon as I refresh this, when it refreshes, that will disappear. well disappear, and me, 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 me. I thought it was quite an achievement. Deservedly so. Caught me by surprise. I'm like, what? What? My video's up there. My video's up there. Oh, everyone can see me now. Oh, and I'll take it. But yeah, don't get out much. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And I intended this video to go for all of 1 minute, so I'll stop going on now about it, and I'll probably attach this to something, this video. And yeah. Woo! Let's see if I can make it to 60 subscribers. Righty-o, man. It started about there. Actually, midnight Charlie, man. Patrick, it's the 11th of the 12th. No, it's not. It's the 11th of September 2024. It's about 4 p.m. I had these things in my mind. More about Hollywood. Could it possibly? Anyway, I've already spoken about Hollywood. I've almost worn the subject there. Hollywood. I've made a couple of videos about it so far. And have I left anything else out? I mean, have I left anything else out? I've talked about Hollywood. I've talked about walking the streets of Hollywood. Yes, I have. A couple of points to touch on. There is a good shop in Hollywood Boulevard. I think it's past. I think you've got Highland, and then you've got Wilcox, you've got McFadden, you've got Whitley, and then you got another one. You've got Ivar. I mean, I don't have a map down here, but you got Ivar, and you got Vine, you got Argyle, and you got Vine. Now, when you're on Highland and Hollywood and Highland, so you've got the Kodak Theatre here, right? You've got the big souvenir store here, which is really the only one they do. They don't need 12 souvenir stores on Hollywood Boulevard. That's what makes the place look tacky. It's really unnecessary. And I think the vintage days, the classic era days of Hollywood didn't have that. It was all really cool. Now, when you're looking east, Hollywood East, so looking so back that way is towards Beverly Hills, Sunset and Laurel Canyon, and this way is done. So you've got about three blocks that way on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, on the Hollywood Hills side, you've got a t-shirt store. It's like a horror store. It's a t-shirt store, and you've which has got excellent heavy metal t-shirts in there, and you've got excellent death metal t-shirts in there, and you've got Morbid Angel. You've got Deicide. You've got an assortment of really good t-shirts, and also movie t-shirts, ones that you can't get here in Sydney. The t-shirts that they've got in there, you can't get them here at all. And if I had had more money, I was running low on money. If I had had more money, there's a couple of t-shirts I definitely would have got. Because it turned out that they were about 40 AUD, 45 AUD. I think maybe even 50 AUD. That's better than putting the postage on it from there, right? And having it shipped, having it shipped over, right? It is. So it's so Highland, Hollywood Boulevard, looking east. It's on the left-hand side, t-shirt stores. There's a few t-shirt stores. There's a couple of them on the right-hand side. They've got generic prints. The one that's really good, and there's actually a couple of really good sort of rock and roll gothic rock and roll stores. And there's that one particular one which has the movie t-shirts and a good assortment of heavy metal t-shirts. It's actually a good store. I think I'm really good at t-shirts. And if I had had more money on me, I would have got. I just ran low on money. I just couldn't do it. Now, as for, I am getting to that subject. I'm getting to it. What was I going to say? The tourists. Not that I was annoyed by them, but they're so one-dimensional. As I said, they don't walk down to it takes about 20 minutes to walk down to Santa Monica Boulevard. Okay, it takes about 20 minutes to walk down there. I don't remember all the street names. It takes about 20 minutes to walk down to Hollywood. That's what I want to talk about, the irony of the tourists. And so, down the Sunset, and then down, by the time they get down to Santa Monica Boulevard, it's devoid of tourists, just locals. I mean, which is the way I love it. I love that. Because I don't like being surrounded by too many tourists. Because I hate to say, they're plain and boring. They stand out a mile away, and that's what I was going to say. They're in groups. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're huddling groups. They huddle in families, and I think at some point they get told, don't go beyond Whitley or Wilcox. Don't go beyond that point. So like, no, we won't go down that way. So they highlight Orange, Highland. That's it. They don't really walk down the Sunset, but I didn't see any tourists. I only saw locals on Sunset, because I walked all the way along Sunset. I didn't see any tourists. They're all up on Hollywood Boulevard. There is a gem of a street, because I really like Franklin. It's so interesting. It's funny, because the moment you walk, and the tourists, they do walk up Highland to Franklin, but that's about where they stop. I mean, that's about where they stop at. Along Franklin, right, turn left on the Franklin, you've got this beautiful little street. It's a cute street. It's called Orchard Street. I just remember the name of it, because I'm just sort of not going to look at the map anymore and all that. I've been looking at the map for a very long period of time. I've been looking at the map for months and months since the circuit breaker was looking at the map, but I'm more coordinated now. I'm mostly coordinated. It's a cute little street called Orchard Street. It's back at the Kodak Theatre. Once again, devoid of tourists. Really cool old street. And then what I was going to say specifically was the irony of where tourists don't go. And it's quite easy to see I was going to say the real Hollywood. What is that? No. To walk the streets of Hollywood is a really interesting thing to do. And the tourists, they cover a 3-block span, if that, and they're like, okay, we're done, finished, did it. Yeah, and they go back home. They go back home and talk to someone, and they say, they went to Los Angeles. Oh, I've been to Los Angeles. Would you go? I went to Hollywood. And, oh, right, did you walk the streets? Yeah, I walked the streets. Hollywood Street. Did you walk on Hollywood Boulevard? And then did you go down to Whitley? Where? Who? And they say, Hollywood Boulevard. Saw the stars. Went on tour. Did you go to Wilcox? Wait, what? And did you go up to Franklin and Cahuenga? You went to Hollywood, right? Yeah. Oh, did you walk up to Franklin and Cahuenga? Oh, no, we didn't. We just didn't do anything like that. They just stay within this particular perimeter. Anyway, now, the homeless are all along Hollywood Boulevard. I interacted with a few of them, okay? Gave a couple of them a few bucks. There was one guy outside of McDonald's on the corner of Highland and Hollywood. And I was watching him. He was going through the bin. Must have been, I don't know, about 60 years of age. Going through the bin. I think he was African American. Pulls out this soda. Takes one silver as it's all there was left. I'm like, there's a lot of people, heaps of people around. I'm like, So I had a few moments of contemplation and got my wallet out. What did I give him, a 5 or a 10? I think I gave him a 10. I remember if I gave him a 5 or a 10. Gave him $10. I said, "Here, go get a lemonade. Just go get a lemonade." And I said, "Have a good afternoon." I don't even think he responded to me. He was like he was a bit more like, it was a hot day. He must have been so dehydrated. And he took there's only one sip left in this thing. I gave him go get a little lemonade. Now, Vine Street, Hollywood and Vine, you walk that east. You keep walking that way east, and you start to see more tents, a lot more tents. Where it really starts, Western and Hollywood Boulevard, that's where they all congregate. Now, I walked past a few of them one day because we were staying down on Sunset, just off Carmen, at the Economy Inn. Don't stay at the Hollywood. Stay away from the Economy Inn. Fuck, they pretended. I don't even know what nationality they are. I think they're Asian of some sort. They pretend they don't speak a word of English. They pretend and they discriminate against everyone. They took a look at me, looked me up and down. They said, "No drugs, no drugs, no drugs." And my partner's like, Michelle said, "Excuse me," and then she went, "No," she said, "We don't take drugs." They went, "No drugs, no drugs." And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just. And so she said, we don't do any of that, we don't do any of that. And they looked at me, they're like. So the West Hollywood and Western, there was a few homeless there one day, quite a few homeless, and the very first thing that came into my mind about them, the very first course of action I would have taken was that each of them have to take a hot bath and a hot shower, whichever first, probably a hot bath first, then a hot shower, and then some type of rehab. I know that you can't force rehab onto people. I understand that. I get that. I'm just saying, a couple of courses of action is what they need, because the smell emanating from them was 2 steps away from death, perhaps even 1 step away from death, and not on the good side of it either. And I think that smell might have been meth. I've never taken meth in my life. I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs, but I'm telling you, I think that smell was probably meth or crack, because it's all over the place in Hollywood, especially the further east you go, past Vine onto Western, and that's where all homeless starts to be. Start seeing all the tents. Okay, 12th of September 2024. I'm in a really good mood tonight because I went out today, we got home, I got all these new subscribers. It's absolutely fantastic. But okay, first of all, I have a very important point to make, a very important point. There was about 6 or 7 homeless people on Western and Hollywood, right? And I said, the smell was putrid, it was horrible, it was really bad. Now, the very first course of action I would take is they need a bath and a shower, bath or a shower. The second thing they need is a roof over their head, so to be put into complementary accommodation. The city can afford it. The city officials and the people high up and the people who are actually trying to help need to do something. They need to get something done in regard to that. And I've got a few ideas in regard to the accommodation. So get them into a complementary accommodation where they don't have to pay any rent for about 6 months. Right, now, after the bath and the shower, they need some new clothes, right? Some new clothes from Target and or some of the op shops. Food, good quality food. Feed them up, and hydrate them. They need to be hydrated. These people need to be hydrated. In regard to the rehab thing, rehab's a funny thing. Rehab. First things first. Shower and bath every day. Constant shower and bath every day. And some new clothes, fresh clothes, food, and lemonade, water, tea, sparkling water, whichever, whatever. They need to be, these people need to be hydrated. What immediately comes to mind is a bath and a shower. A bath and a shower. I was going to say this, that where you could put the homeless. There's a mansion called Naomi. What's his name? Naomi. The One. The mansion called The One. It's this huge mega structure in the Hollywood Hills. In fact, I think it's in Bel Air, and it's in Bel Air, and it's huge. I mean, it is huge. And the guy who built, I think his name was Naomi. He went into debt. He's in debt, and he had to sell it for a lot less than get a bus, get in Hollywood Boulevard, get about 50 of the homeless people, go down to Sunset, get some more homeless people, take them back up to The One, and let them be in there. Let them be in there. Who else is going to use the space? Because whoever bought that, I can't remember who actually purchased The One. Someone purchased it. And I think it's going to be like a family of 4 living there. Get all these people, get all the homeless people from Hollywood Boulevard, right, and Sunset, take it up to The One, so there you go. I don't know how many bathrooms this place has. I think it maybe has about, it probably has 20 bathrooms. I watched a video about it. I was tempted to do my research on it before I recorded this tonight, but I thought, it's got quite a few bathrooms. It might have between 10 and 20 bathrooms. I'm not certain, but I think that if you brought those homeless people from Hollywood Boulevard, they could somehow share it. They could share the bathrooms, right? And also, there's another mansion I got this mixed up when I was there. I was on the corner of Charing Cross and Mapleton. I didn't go down Mapleton, and the Aaron Spelling Mansion, you actually go down Mapleton, because the actual entrance to the Playboy, I got this mixed up when I was actually there in person. When I was actually there, it was 7 weeks ago. The actual entrance to the Playboy Mansion is on Mapleton, and Aaron Spelling's little house, his little mansion, is further down the road. And it's got about, I think it's got like 150 rooms in it or something. It's sort of like, I don't know how many bedrooms, and I don't know how many bathrooms, and I think one person lives there, what you could do. So once again, pick up quite a few people, pick up, I don't know, 50 homeless people from Hollywood Boulevard, then go down to Sunset, pick up some more, take them back to the Aaron Spelling Mansion. I'm sure the neighbourhood won't mind, and maybe have 2 to a room, and just let them live a bit. Live. What I mean by that is showers, baths, eat well, drink well, it's new clothes, and also I think it's been brought to my attention that Los Angeles is hosting the Olympics in like 4 or 5 years or something. What are they going to do about the homeless problem? Are they going to have millions of people pouring into Los Angeles, right? And they've got a homeless problem, a really bad homeless problem, a huge homeless problem. And so I'm wondering what the city's going to do with that, or are they just going to sort of, cop the embarrassment on the chin and proceed with the Olympics while they got the, because it's a bit of a problem, because you're going to have 10 times more the amount of people going to Los Angeles in 4 or 5 years' time for the Olympics. and they will still potentially have a huge homeless case on their hands, homeless people. I'm not sure what Los Angeles is intending to do about that. But yeah, those are the points that I had thought about. And was there anything else? Just to say very, very quickly, that I was there in 1998. I turned 25 in Hollywood. I was there in 1998, so I got two perspectives. And I caught the last of the golden era when I was there in 1998. But you've just got the remnants of that left over now. And yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, just I got all these notifications. I'm up to 60 subscribers. I'm up to 60 subscribers. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. I'm up to 60 subscribers now. 60 subscribers. I'm really, really chuffed about that. 60 subscribers. It's really, really, really good. And thank you. Back to what I was saying. And very importantly, okay, so I must include, there's two things I want to talk about. There's two things I want to include about Hollywood and Western, and about the, I'm so chuffed about having 65 subscribers. There were about 8 of them. I think there was about 8 of them, and they were just milling around. They were half zombie-like. I could tell they were on some pretty hard drugs. None of them had showered for a while. I've already described that part. I didn't feel any danger. But in regard of the homeless people being put into one of those big mansions, right? Also, you're going to need, I think, doctors and nurses there. You need doctors and nurses, so to give them medical attention, give them medical aid. And I did just look up the one. I actually did just before I came down here. I googled the one. Niles Naomi, up in Beverly Glen. 21 bathrooms, 21 bedrooms, 42 bathrooms. So that's kind of ideal. And that's a big space. So you get, you get 2 to a room. Depending, you get 2 to a room depending, but there's lots of other spaces in that mega mansion, right? There's lots of other spaces in there. And so those other homeless people, they could spread themselves out. Probably spread themselves out. Let them go a bit wild, let them go for it. And feed them, hydrate them, medical attention, and that because I don't know. Do you think that one is too big for one person? Is the one too big for one person? There could be a family in there now. Could be a family of 4. I don't know who purchased it. And the Aaron Spelling Mansion. I don't know how many bedrooms in there, and I don't know how many bathrooms. Same deal. Get them in there. They can spread themselves out, whatnot, and they can spread themselves out. And the same medical attention. Oh, just keep themselves hydrated and all that. There would be also a few other mansions in the Bel Air and Beverly Glen area which are not necessarily doing too much. Because when I walked around there, as I said, a little bit of it's elegant, and mysterious, extremely private, but had a lonely and sad feel to it as well. I'm sure there's mansions there that are not doing much. So you bring a bunch of the homeless up, put them in there, get them healthy. You get some of these millionaires, get some of these multi-millionaires to, you know, potentially help out a bit, right? Those are the points I was going to make, specifically about the doctors and the nurses getting there and giving them some medical attention. Just really just get them out, feed them up, hydrate them. Do that to start with. Okay. Yes. 65 subscribers. Yes. And you go down to Sunset, you know, you walk down the Sunset and you keep going east along Sunset, and it's tense, tense, tense. And it's very sad. It is what it is. It's very sad. It's very sad to see. And it's, I just was thinking, these people have made certain choices in their life. And they've made a few choices in a row. They made a choice, they made another choice, they made another choice, and that wasn't a good choice to make. It took them further away from their goal. It took them further away from their livelihood. They just kept making choices to eventually get to that spot, which is really, really incredibly sad. Really incredibly sad. And I've seen a few videos about Los Angeles recently, and that inflation has gone up, taxes have gone up, rents are sky high, and that the city of Los Angeles gets a certain amount of money designated to them each year to go toward the homeless people, and only a certain amount of that money actually ends up helping the homeless, because there's high up people, top-notch people who are sort of benefiting more from that money, and only about 20% being done in certain sections of Los Angeles, including Hollywood, cleaning up the streets. It is obvious, and it's very, it's like you get there and it's like oh, you know, the city is saying, this is what it is, this is what we are, this is how it is, it's edgy, gritty, grimy. There's quite a bit of, I've already said all this before about the sparkling and the elegance, there is that. That's all mixed in. But the further you just start walking that way, if you want to see the real Hollywood, I will say the real Hollywood, just start walking that way, you go down past Gower, okay, walk up Gower to Franklin and past Yucca, and you'll see tents. You've got the freeway there, underneath the freeway, all the concrete and all that, you see all the tents. And it's really made me think. We've got homeless here in Sydney, we do, but not to the extent that it is in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is like, I do agree with the statement now, it's like the apocalypse. It's just like, what it's like, I mean, Sydney is in good shape compared. Sydney is, I love Sydney, I love my home. Sydney is my home. I was born and raised in Sydney. And I'm telling you that, I mean, yeah, Los Angeles is a fascinating place, but it is not doing a couple of $1 billion gets allocated to the city of Los Angeles every year to help the homeless people out. But there's some top dogs, there's some top-notch people who are taking a percentage of that money for themselves, it gets distributed, and then you get like 20% of that ends up helping a section of Los Angeles, of Hollywood, and it's you've got the homeless all over Hollywood Boulevard, and I worked out that just some of that smell is urine, it's feces, it's urine, it's whatever drugs they're taking, crack, heroin. Hollywood has a particular smell to it. And it's a lot of black and whites. What I mean is, you got people walking along who are some of them millionaires. Although actually they don't really venture into Hollywood too much these days, but you got the really people who are really well off. And then you've got just people who are so dehydrated that they're getting one sip out of a bin of lemonade, Coke, whatever it is. And they've got their tent set up, they've got their toilet set up next to the tent. And it's tents all along the boulevard, right? And this is including Santa Monica Boulevard as well. You just keep walking east along there, and you see little Sunset Boulevard, especially down from we've got Western, Carmen, and then you just keep going down. You just keep walking down it, and it's there to the point where there was a particular point I walked down there at night. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go to Ralph's on Sunset at Fuller or Ralph's down past Western. And I decided to walk. This is about 10 or 11 at night. Michelle's in the hotel room. I said, I'm just going to go to Ralph's. And why am I laughing? Because at night, there's no tourists around. No. I saw there be some guys in their 30s who were tourists, because I was like, oh yeah, here we are, we're in Hollywood, and but 90% less at night, 90% less tourists at night, there's 90% less. In fact, I almost enjoy it more at night. And I talked to a few street people, met a lady, she was really nice, she was really cool. And she's like, oh, you're from Sydney, Australia. Oh, she's like, wow, that's cool. And I was talking to her for a while. And this particular place is along Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard, where it's tents. For 50 metres it's tents. 20 metres. 20 metres of tents. And I chose to, and I assessed the situation. And there was quite a few homeless there. And I'm like, that looks a bit dangerous to me. It did look dangerous. So I walked across the road and started walking. And there was times, 5 or 6 homeless people that were walking towards me. And I'm like, what do I think of this situation? So I just suddenly crossed back to the other side of the road, come across more tents, and then cross back. Some of the spots, I walked through them. The lady that I met, that I talked to, she said, now, what you want to do, she said, when you want to cross, just get down here, you want to cross the road, because you don't want to go past those tents. She said, there's nasty stuff in there, so what you want to do, you walk a couple more meters down this way, like about 50 yards down this way, you see, before you get to those tents, you're going to cross the road, just for your own safety. She's a lovely lady, really lovely. And, well, but it's the homelessness is a huge problem. It's a really huge problem in LA. It's nasty. So you've got that. I was going to maybe I should make this a separate video. Oh, I've already spoken about it, but I already have spoken about having like the McDonald's on Highland and Hollywood Boulevard, Highland Avenue. The McDonald's there, fucking hell, don't go in there, you'll need a tetanus shot coming out. You need more than a tetanus shot coming out. Bloody hell. And you can even feel it on the corner of Fuller and Sunset where Ralph's is. You can feel it there. It's like a desolate feeling of sorts, and there's some Armenian guys, I think Israeli guys, because there's a lot of Arabian and Israel people who have migrated to Los Angeles, Lebanese people and Armenian, and so they have migrated to Los Angeles and seem to be doing quite well for themselves there. So it's really, really a multicultural, it has been, it always has been. It's always been that way. And you know what, when tourists who'd never been to Los Angeles before some of them go there thinking, oh, I'm going to see all the A-listers, I'm going to see all the big movie stars walking down Hollywood Boulevard, walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and everything's going to be so sparkly, woo, all sparkly, and then they get there, and they see all these African American people, and all these people. There's Caucasian there, but it's a mix. It's a mix, and people who've never been there before, massive culture shock, big culture shock. I didn't get it this time when I was there in '98, and when I was there in '98, I got a bit of culture shock, but I adjusted pretty quickly. I just thought the whole thing was really interesting. I didn't really get that much culture shock. Nope, I did and I didn't. But the average tourist, they've only seen a postcard of Hollywood. They're like, what the heck is this? If I was arriving in Hollywood at 6 p.m. and over there for the first time, and I got on a bus to get to my hotel, I'd be like, I don't think I'm in Hollywood. I don't think I'm in Hollywood. But I adjusted pretty quickly to it. They're interesting. They're interesting, and for the most part harmless. Homeless people. Sadness, and it's I've got my issues and problems which I'm sorting through. I mean, I try to get through a couple per day. I have limited energy, but a lot of energy, but yet limited. But geez, it's a survival town. I mean, go there and try and survive. It's literal gritty survival. Gritty survival. And Skid Row, downtown Skid Row, far out. It just felt like they were all one step away from death, and not in a good way. You could feel it. It's like, it's just edgy. I didn't feel danger. I felt danger when I walked into Skid Row. I felt danger when I went into Skid Row. And that smell, like, this is what they're all one step away from death here. And it was, geez, incomparable to where I live, to Sydney. Incomparable. Apples and oranges beyond. And I walked 2 blocks in, and I'm like, geez, I feel I'm in part danger here. I felt partly in danger. I was like, I don't feel safe. I do not feel safe, because I was quite a few of them around, and they weren't approaching me. Some of them were looking at me like, we haven't seen you around here before, and but I was like, yeah, I don't feel safe. And so I turned around, and I wasn't like, I didn't run. I just casually turned around, made my way back. In fact, made my way back as if I knew the neighbourhood. Not aggressively, but just assertively, calmly. And I was like, fuck, I don't feel safe here. Yes. And the tourists didn't annoy me, they were a bit funny. That's all, they were a bit funny. They walked 2 blocks along Hollywood Boulevard, they're like, okay, check done. Took a photo of a star. And they go, check done. Hollywood Boulevard, and someone down the track a month later or 2 months later says, oh, what was Hollywood like? They're like, oh yeah, we're at Hollywood Boulevard. I took it on the star, and the picture taken next to a star. And then someone says, oh, and what are the streets like? And they're like, they're not going to be able to tell you. They're like, oh, it's Hollywood Boulevard and the Star, Man's Science Theatre, and we took a tour, and what was Hollywood like? Blick is the place I was, Melrose, Beverly, and Melrose. Go down Labrie till you get to Melrose, I'm getting confused because we stay in the hotel at Melrose. Beverley, get into Beverley and Blick. Really good art place. If you're into art, you need art supplies. Michelle's really into art supplies. Blick. Really good. Really good. And it's where Quentin Tarantino's Beverley Twin Cinema is. It's where his cinema is. Had some good long walks around there as well. Some good long walks. Walked down to Wilshire, down to near Wilshire. Walked down to near Wilshire as Michelle was spending time in the store. My battery's starting to wear down. No, not that, because I get better on my battery. I'm starting to wear it down. Got them to, hey, you like this? And it's got nothing. I know this has got nothing to do with Los Angeles, but like this, like it. I haven't unwrapped it yet. I haven't unwrapped it yet. It's all about the red tights. Okay, and hey, you like that? Like that? Okay, so yeah, look, all right, okay, so. Thank you for watching. Oh, 53 subscribers. I'm at 53 subscribers. 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 Stella. 53 subscribers. 53 subscribers. Let's see if I can get to 100. Let's see if I can get to 60. If I can get to 60, and then I can try to get to 65 and 70. Please, yes. And Los Angeles is almost a city of contradictions, or Beverly Hills is a city by itself. Because if you live in Beverly Hills, I think you pay only half tax on your mansions have no tax on them or something. And if you live outside Beverly Hills, your mansion gets taxed. Poor them. I mean, no, not poor them. Millionaires. But Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and Hollywood, two totally different places. Bel Air, you walk into Bel Air, you breathe in, there's a lot of greenery there. Breathe in there, it's big trees, 16-foot hedges. You know, I've talked about all that before. It's apples and oranges over there. Like, the people of Bel Air would never go to Hollywood these days, except for their Kodak Theatre hosts the Oscars, and I think Beverly Hilton hosts the Golden Globe. I think it's always close to the Golden Globe Awards. Okay, all right.